Commissioners Court is a regular meeting taking place in the County Courtroom, Suite 203. The date is July 25th, 2022. Time is 9:01 a.m. Please stand with me for a prayer and pledge of allegiance. And Father God, we come to you asking you to hear our prayers for the prosperity and the health of our county. We pray for wisdom for the Commissioners Court to take the right actions for the benefit of running county government and assisting the citizens in the county. And we, again, Lord, we continue to pray for rain. We need lots of it, Lord, so bring it as soon as you can. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda item number 3 is public comments. Do we have any public comments at this time? Being none, we'll move on to number 4. Mr. Wayne Byer, discuss and take appropriate action accepting the 2021 audit report and enter it into the county minutes. Good morning, Mr. Byer.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, everybody. I believe I gave everybody a copy of the report. Matt, what's the first one on, or can you hear me, or what do you want me to do?
We can hear you.
Okay.
You're fine.
I've given each member a copy of the audit report and ask you, let's just turn to pages 1 and 2 of the report. This is our opinion letter. This is what is called an unmodified opinion. There's basically 4 different kinds of opinions that can be given on a set of financial statements, and this is the highest form of opinion that can be given. Basically means that nothing came to our attention during our audit that would cause us to qualify our opinion, and also that we were provided all the information we asked to examine. Let's see, I want to just direct your attention here to page 1 where it says basis for opinion. It says, the first sentence says, we conducted our audit in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the United States of America and the standards applicable to financial audits contained in government auditing standards issued by the Comptroller General of the United States. What that means is this is a single audit. It's basically 2 different audits in one. The first audit is an audit of just the regular financial statements of the county. The second audit is an audit of the grants, the federal grants. You had to have an audit of federal grants last year because your grant expenditures, federal grant expenditures, exceeded $750,000. And we're saying here that we did follow both sets of procedures. Next, if you would, let's just flip over here to page number, let's see, page 16 of the report. On page 16 of the report, it's kind of a bird's eye view of what transpired in the county with the exception of the insurance fund. That first column is your general fund. And if you look toward the bottom there, 3 lines in the bottom where it says net changes in fund balance, you had an increase over the year about $3,500,000. You started the year out with a deficit fund balance in the general fund of $2.1 million, and that brought you up to an ending balance of a plus $1.4 million. The second column is your road and bridge funds. These are all combined, and you had a beginning balance of about $2.1 million, I guess. You had a deficit for the year of $1,100,000. That brought you down to about $980,000 at the end of the year. We'll go over those in a second. These are all combined. We'll look at the individual ones first, later rather. If you flip over to page 18 and 19 of the report, this is a general fund. General fund is broken out in budgetary detail. There's a couple things I want to comment on this budget. This is the budget of the general fund last year. At the very top of page 18, your revenues, broken down by major revenue sources. And then below that are your expenditures. That goes middle of page 18 all the way up to the top of page 19. And those are your expenditures broken down by departments. The first column on either page is your budget as adopted. The second column is your final amended budget on either page. The third column are your actual income and expenses. And then the third column are your budget variances. And simply said, your budget variance column, if the variance has brackets around it, it's unfavorable. If it doesn't have brackets, it's a favorable variance. So let me just show you the first thing. If you go to page 19, those first two columns at the bottom, you see that you have a balanced budget, almost a couple dollars here or there, but you probably have a balanced budget, which you might think is not unusual, but in this day and age it is. You don't see that very often. You see deficits budgeted. That's the first thing I want to point out. And the second thing, if you look in that fourth column on either page, your budget variance column, you'll see that no department went over their budget last year, none. So that tells me that the county is conservative when it comes to fiscal matters, and that they have a balanced budget, and that they stay within their budget, and that is the way you build up equity in a county. Let's just look at page number 22 quickly here. On page 22 is your insurance fund. You'll see that there's three columns on that page. That first column is your activity for the insurance fund for 2021. That second column is the prior year. That's for 2020. So if you look in that first column, 3 lines in the bottom, you had a change in net position of plus $164,000. At the beginning reserve, if you go down one line, of $853,000. It gave you an ending reserve of $1,017,000. And then you can see that last year you had a loss of $435,000 for the year. That's that second column, 3 lines from the bottom. You had a beginning reserve at the beginning of last year, $1.289 million, and that brought you down to the $853,000. Well, of course, the big difference is this 2021, if you go back to that first column and go up about 4 lines, you transferred in $500,000 into that fund. And that's the major difference. Okay. A couple other items here in the report. If you flip over here to page number, let me find it, page 46 of the report. And right in the middle of that page is a schedule of the debt of the county. You can see there's 6 columns. That first column is the beginning of the year debt. It was $23,800,000. If you go over to the fourth column, your end of the year debt is $24,181,000, so it stayed about the same. You have debt made up of several different things. That first line are your bonds. You had a couple bond sales a few years back, and that balance is $21 million. You had the next line, something called bond insurance premium. Bond issuance premium. What that is, sometimes when you sell bonds, they sell for more than par. So that's just additional money in your pocket. Then you have capital leases, that's equipment leases and things, machinery and such. That next line is what they call GASB 68 payable, and that's your TDCRS fund. That's your employee pension plan. And what they do every year is you have to compare what you have in the plan versus what is owed out of the plan to the employees. If you have more that's owed out of the plan than what you have in the plan, it's a liability, and that's what that is. And then that last line is your compensated absences. I met with the judge and the county auditor last Friday, I believe it was, and I explained to them there's we do entities much smaller than this county, and they have almost as much debt as you do, so I wouldn't be too concerned about the debt balance. And then speaking of that that GASB 68 payable, if we looked at this last Friday, you might be interested. If you go to page 55 at the very top, I'll show you what I was talking about. If you look at the very top of page 55, you see there's two columns. You got a December 2019 and December 2020 column. The 2020 column, the column on the right, is where we came up with that $1.8 million. If you look at that first line there that says total pension liability, you have $57 million owed out of that plan, $57,400,000. That second line is what they call a fiduciary net position. That's a fancy word for your assets in the plan, cash and cash equivalents, investments, and such. And then you had, that's how you come up, you compare the two, and you have net pension liability. If you go down one more line, they have that liability as a percentage of your plan is 96.77%. And I was telling the judge and the county auditor last Friday that the average percentage of fund being funded is about 85%. So you're well over that. If you go to that left column, last year you were over 100%. You had more money in that plan than what you owed out of that plan. So it varies. They use these figures are calculated by actuaries, and they use all sorts of different parameters. They were using an interest rate last year of 6.75%, which is kind of ridiculous last year. It wasn't anywhere near that. That's what they did. Let's just go over here quickly to page number 80 of the report, please. And this is a breakdown of the different precincts, your road precincts. I think you have a road and bridge general, and then you each have your own precinct, and then you have a right-of-way fund. If you go just to the bottom, starting in the first column at the very bottom, just go from left to right, you can see how each of your precincts looked at the end of the year. I'm not going to elaborate too much about that, but you can kind of see for yourself what you have in there. Okay, two more things. When you get done with that, we'll turn over to page 95 of the report. I mentioned first that we did two audits. We did one of the financial statements, and then we did one of the audits. This here on 95, this is one of the grants rather. This on 95 are the grants. You can see your total grant expenditures last year is $874,000, thus exceeding the $750,000 threshold. So it triggered a single audit. Your big grant was your coronavirus relief fund. That came from the Department of Treasury. You will see in the next few years you're going to be getting a lot of money from the Department of Homeland Security. It's just going to be coming. I see this in other counties, just huge amounts of money being paid out from the Homeland Security Department. These different kind of, they must have 5 or 6 different kind of grants and huge amounts of money they're paying out. And then the only comment we had last year, page 104. Let's see here. Actually, we had two. One's a little minor one. On page 4, the district clerk, we know there's an unknown balance in the amount of $4,100, and the cost deposit is short $4,000. I guess if you put them together, you come within $100 of each other. So, and then you have other matters. The sheriff's inmate bank account has an unknown ending balance of $11,796. My advice for that inmate is to figure out what you actually have in there that you know about, and take the rest of it and remit it to the general fund. Would be my advice with that. Just clean it out. And that's, other than to say that this county is an excellent budgeter, does excellent budgeting, and the reserves are good. That's about all I have to say. I don't know if you want to add anything, Judge.
Any questions for Mr. Byer?
First off, thank you for doing this. You always do a great job on it. The money you were speaking of Homeland Security, the funding,
Oh, yeah.
what would that be used for? What can we expect to see with that?
Pretty much anything,
Okay.
pretty much anything. They don't, and they have very little oversight over that. They'll give a county $4 million, and they say, what do you want us to spend this on? Oh, just something, just spend it on something, you know, like last year's expenses. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
And
Just
is that
all
something
around,
we,
all these other counties.
do we apply for that, or they just, I mean, I'm interested in it, because
Yeah,
money, is, you know,
and
that's,
not only county, city, just call around. I'm not sure how they get it, but there's a lot of it out there. And it's hard for us to audit that. You don't know what to audit, because there's nothing to, you can't pin anything down that they're really spending on. You say, well, what were your wages last year in the county? You say, well, $20 million. Well, that's enough. You know, we'll give you $4 million and, you know, just use it toward the $20 million in salaries. We've come across that a lot.
okay.
So you may want to call around a little bit. I don't know who your
We'll have
grant
to twist
person
my
is
arm.
here.
I'll
but-
take it.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Byer?
Oh, great.
I'd like to make a couple of comments Mr. Barr referred to. Our balances did not go into the negative. That's some sort of ledger item, but we've had a positive bank balance. We didn't run out of money. And you see it increasing that much because we do have a balanced budget, and I have worked closely with our auditor, who's done a great job creating a balanced budget and making sure that we have a budget the last 2 years that is going to produce extra funds to go back into the reserves. We used all of our bond money up. We built the buildings. Some of the things were done on a planned basis out of our reserve funds, and then the economy went down on us, so our reserves dropped far lower than I would ever want them to be. So I watch them daily, and I've seen them coming up almost, well, not daily, I get a monthly report, and I see them coming up every month for the last 2 years, and we're really in a much better place than we were, and it's due to the support of the commissioners and working with the auditor who's done the work. Net data, our old financial software system, is not conducive to calculating a balanced budget, so Ms. Barrera's had to do it basically manually, and before that, I could never get an answer as to whether we had a balanced budget or not when I became county judge, so I'm very pleased about that. Also, you can notice in the 21 budget that we have a deficit of below budgeted amount of sales tax of $1,200,000 or so, $1,259,000, and we still have some room left for the 2020 deficit, and some of it we'll have to calculate not against what was budgeted, but what was the last 2019 revenue date on sales tax, and then we can move more money from these ARP funds back into reserves. Last year we moved about $1.25 million, and we still have about another $750,000 to move for that, and then you can see the deficit's around $1 million. We don't know exactly because we don't compare to the budget like this budget does, but it compares to 2019 for ARP rules, and so I think we're going to be able to put roughly another $1 million back in this year, and hopefully get those funds transferred in reserves. So rebuilding the reserves has been a real focus of mine the last 3 years, and Auditor Barrera has been a key part of that. We are getting a new financial software package in the next couple of months, and it's called Financial Intelligence, and it will be, this net data, they really quit approving it around 1999 or so, so it's still 1999 technology. They've never updated it, and the financial intelligence is going to be very software, very digitally current for this time, and it's going to have a lot of internet capabilities, a lot of perks, but one of the things I like most about it is you'll be able to calculate a balanced budget real easily. And to me, that's the number one thing for it to do. I just want to point out to commissioners that liability that showed at $159,000 on our books is the excessive comp time that we have on the books that I've continued to harp on for the last 2 months. So it not only shows up to hurt you in your own, every department head in your own budgets, and but it hurts the financial picture for the county overall. So everything we can do to bring down the comp time, unused comp time, is a good thing. People have a right to have it, but they need to use it too, and we need to control how it's done. So let me make a couple of points, Mr. Barr. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. I noticed we got several of the reoccurring items you usually put on it off now, so that's good news.
Yeah.
Got the payroll off of it. And I know that, and thank Laura and Tracy for getting that done. And so we thank you very much. You always do a nice job for us. Thank you, Mr. Barr.
Make a motion to accept the 2021 audit report and be entered into the county minutes.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Number 5, Judge Bowden, discuss and take appropriate action concerning approving the installation of a security camera system for Just the Peace Precinct 4 building in the amount of $1,576 to be paid out of the Justice Technology Fund. See attached. So I don't think Judge Bowden here, but JP4 is the only JP building that does not have security cameras, I believe is a correct statement. And we need to put them in, and we can pay for this out of the Justice Technology Fund.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Riley.
On
Yes, sir.
this, we had budgeted this in our budget workshop for next year, so we need to make sure that's erased out of it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Anything else? All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 6, Chief Dominguez. Discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. New reserve employee, Arthur de Yohos?
Dijoyes.
Yos?
Dijoyes.
Eos. Position reserve officer, pay rate 0, salary budget area not applicable, physical drug test complete/pending. What does that mean?
So the physical's been done, the drug test is still pending.
Pending, drug
Yes.
test still pending, and so Chief Dominguez.
In our ever-ending effort to save the county money, we are starting a reserve program. It's a non-paid program to where reserve officers will hold their commission. In return, we get 24 hours of free service from them. So they'll be utilized to help us whenever our officers take vacation or have a scheduled day off. We'll call in a reserve officer to cover the field operations. This officer will be out picking up animals and doing animal control calls out in the field, not necessarily inside the facility. So we're asking permission to put him on as a non-paid reserve with the stipulation that he gives us 24 hours of reserve time per month.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Riley, second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Chief. Ms. Hawley, Loretta Hawley, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the presentation of the 2021 annual tax collection report. Ms. Hawley, good morning.
Good morning. papers from the auditor. Let's see here. Okay, we'll start with GAT. Our base tax collections for just the 2021 taxes was $22,367,457.98. On that same current year, we collected penalty and interest of $160,129.40. Refunds paid out of that was $82,673.81. If we look at our delinquent collections right below that, the base tax collected was $1,100,830.24. Penalty and interest on those delinquent years was $360,337.24. Excuse me, and refunds out of the delinquent years was $33,262.52. This year, we collected 94.58%. It's a little bit up from last year's 94.43%.
I have a question. What are the refunds paid out? What is that?
Some of it's overpayments, most of it is late homestead, or you turn 65 and you get those exemptions.
Give them back.
And the CAD can go back 2 or 3 years on that, so now that the state put that in, they get more money than they used to.
Thank you.
Now, if we look at FM and LR, the 2021 year, the base tax collected was $4,143,320.68. Penalty and interest collected on that current year was $29,613.95, and refunds on that was $15,568.36. The delinquent collections for FM and LR was $206,675.11. Penalty and interest collected was $70,079.56, and refunds on that delinquent years were $6,826.87. And our percentage collection this year for FMLR was 94.59. Then if we look at this other packet, the third one, it's the 2021 annual property tax and tax collection summary. For the 2021 year, GAT total was $23,988,754.86. FMLR was $4,449,599.30, and that is $1,093,321.74 more than we collected last year. Other fees we collect, fees of office on the tax side was $13,995.95. On the vehicle side of the office, it was $541,683.69. Also, we collected county vehicle registration. We get to keep a set amount of $360,000 every year of that. County Road and Bridge brought in $446,883. For vehicle inventory tax, these are from the dealers. We got $18,011.31. County beer and wine, $8,196.75. Hot check service fees was $425. The county interest just from my fees account only was $9,786.84. We get payment in lieu of taxes from the Pleasanton and Poteet Housing Authorities. Both of those combined was $6,025.70. And then collection fees, that's what they pay us once a year for the other taxing entities. The other 11 taxing entities was $114,353.40. We're picking up the city of Lytle next year, so we'll be having another taxing entity. So our total, everything I've mentioned was $29,957,675.80, and just for these extra collections, it was $1,519,321.64.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When we collect the, out of the 5% that was not collected, when we collect that money, I guess we turn that over to Linebarger.
The 5 cent not collected?
Yeah, not collected.
No, they take a fee, right?
What happens to that?
What are you talking about, 5% not collected?
Well, you show 90,
Well, it's still just hanging out there. They haven't paid yet.
So we, at some point, we turn that over to our
Oh, yes,
line
yeah,
boarder for collection?
yes.
And then when that's collected, where does it go? Does it come back in to increase that number, or does it go into a current year,
It goes into the current year.
current year? Just curious, thank you.
Mhm.
Knew you'd know the answer.
Good.
Any questions for Ms. Holly?
Move for approval to accept the 2021 annual property tax and county collection summary.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion, questions? All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Thank you, Ms. Holly. It sounds like your office is very busy.
We are.
Number 9, Daniela Martinez. Discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. The first two look to be the same. Can I read those together?
Yes, sir. It's just except the first one is a promotion. Good morning, by the way.
Okay. Existing employee Avalos Octavio, position promotion from JSO2 to JSO3. Pay rate monthly $42.50. Salary budget area 039-400-403. Physical drug test not applicable. Start date 08/01/2022. Existing employee McHaslett Bryce, Salinas, John J. Position JSO3. Pay rate change. This is not a promotion. This is a position change. A pay rate change in the same position to the monthly rate of $42.50. Salary budget area 039-400-403. Physical drug test not applicable. Start date 08/01/2022. Ms. Martinez.
Yes, sir. First of all, I want to say thank you for approving the salary increases. I think it's going to make a huge change. It's going to be a big help to get people into our facility to work and hopefully stay. So I want to thank you for that. I wasn't here last time. So Mr. Avalos, he's been with us for 13 years. He's been doing the job of a JSO3 since he hasn't had one. So I would like to promote him to that position and give him the credit that he deserves. As for Ms. McHaslett and Mr. Salinas, they are also my other 2 3s. I think they're deserving of this increase. They have been holding the stake, being short-staffed, coming in when nobody else will. So I'm just asking for approval on those 3 JSO3s at this point.
Motion by Commissioner Perez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Knowlton. I just forgot your name for 1 second. I wasn't going to say
It's all right.
Torrance. When he was first elected, I called him Commissioner Torrance for about a year. That's good. Any discussion or action? All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Next is existing employee Juan Delgadillo Van Horn, James, I'm sorry, is that the whole name?
No, there's 2 people.
Is that 2
Yes.
people, 2 different people
2 different people? Yes, sir.
with the same thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have Juan Delgadillo and James Van Horn. Yeah, I knew that wasn't James's full name.
Yes, sir.
Rather ask than guess. JSO2, pay rate change monthly 3916.67, salary budget area 039-400-562, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022.
Same thing with them. They are the backup to my JSO3s. They've been with us for some time now. Show up to work, do the job, so I'm just asking that they also receive an increase in their pay.
They have to reach a certain skill level to reach JSO2.
Yes, sir.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Knowlton, second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Existing employees, Ophelia Delgado and Jennifer Garza and Vivian Leal, position JSO1. Pay rate change, monthly $37.50, salary budget area 039-400-562. For drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022. Ms. Martinez.
Yes, sir. Actually, Ms. Garza and Ms. Leal have been with us for some time, and they're actually on the very old pay rate. So they're kind of up there already. Ms. Delgado has been with us before, and she's returned. She's got plenty of experience and has been a supervisor before, so I'm just asking to move them up to the JSO1 max at this monthly rate as well.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Next is existing employees Brandon Carroll, Markeith Limon, Taylor Maddox, position JSO 1, pay rate change monthly 3583.33, salary budget area 039-400-562, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022.
Yes, sir. These three are also another level of, we're basing these increases based on their experience and how they've been working. So, again, asking for an increase for them as well. And they are not maxed out yet as well.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second.
second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Existing employee Brittany McCracken, position JSO 1, pay rate change monthly 3666.67, salary budget area 039-400-562, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022. Ms. Martinez?
Yes, sir. Ms. McCracken has been with us for not that long, but she has gone from part-time control room tech to JSO, and she's actually stepped up and has ran shift whenever we do not have a JSO 3 or JSO 2. So I'm asking to approve her increase as well.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Existing employees, Eugene Fernandez Jr., Patricia A. Hatfield, Rocky Lopez, position JSO 1 EL, entry level.
Well, we should take that off because they were entry level and we're just placing it to JSO 1
Okay,
so we can
so
correct that.
we should strike off EL under those three people and it should just say position JSO 1.
Yes, sir.
Pay rate change monthly 3,500, salary budget area 039-400-562, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022.
Yes, sir. These three came in together at the same time. They've recently been certified and are on the floor. Just would like to give them a little increase since we will be starting our new JSO 1s at 41. So I would like to give them a little increase since they have been already certified and working the floor.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Existing employee Letitia T. Lombardia, position cook, pay rate change monthly 3641.14, salary budget area 039-400-562, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022.
Yes, sir. Ms. Lombardia has been with us 13 years. She's been holding the kitchen down by herself for quite some time, dealing with in and out. So I'm asking for an increase for her as well, and it is within the budget.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Riley, second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Existing employee Selena Huerta, position cook, pay rate change monthly 2833.33, salary budget area 039-400-565, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022.
Yes, sir. She was a JSO, and she recently transitioned into the kitchen, and she's been doing a good job helping Ms. Lombardia, so I'm asking for a little rate change for her as well.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Riley.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. In the future, Ms. Martinez, would you please indicate what tier they're on so we have as part of the permanent record, payroll record?
We don't have tiers. I
Yes,
know
you do. Yes, you do. We talked about it in our meeting.
You'll explain it.
I guess I'll get with Tracy.
We'll talk
'cause I know
further
that-
about
I know
it.
we discussed it, but I wasn't sure how
Yeah.
we were listing that
So
as
you
for
have them at the
tiers.
full rate, so you have them at tier 1.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that answers
Do you
it.
want me to
All of these
indicate
are at tier
tiers?
1, at the budgeted rate.
For the JSO ones, you're meaning?
Well, all of them.
If you recall at the meeting we had talked, it was, I believe, 1,500 difference in between each tier.
2,000.
Was it 2,000?
Yeah.
So that would be your tier steps.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if we had identified for each level how we were gonna
Well,
list
these
that.
are
in
all,
tiers.
these are all employees that are already here, but in the future, so if you have someone that comes in that has absolutely no experience, and you want to bring them in at tier 3, which is $4,000 per annum, lower than the budgeted rate, you can do that, and then you can bring them up as they improve or as you see fit. If they come in and they're experienced and they're ready to go to work, and there's somebody you really want, and you think they're really desirable for some reason, you can move them in at tier 2 or
Yes.
start them at tier 1. That's your choice as a department head.
I'll get the tiers
But that's the way the
down for next
policy,
time.
that's the way the policy's written.
Yes,
I'll
I'll get
get
the
you,
tiers down for next
I'll
time.
email you a copy of it,
Okay.
okay?
And I just want to thank Tracy for helping me as well with
Oh, yeah.
all the numbers and getting everything budgeted.
Your
So we
Honor,
have
I
it on the record, all these are at tier 1, so that's fine.
Your Honor, I
I'm just
have
trying to
a
get the record
question
right.
of concern. It's not on the agenda, though. May I ask it?
Sure.
You had made a comment on Brittany McCracken as a JSO 1, that she has at many a time stepped up to do the job for a 2 and a 3 when they're not available.
Just recently,
Is that okay? Is
Just-
that legal?
yes.
I mean, it's,
as long as she's able, and we know that she's, I mean, well, we're there as well. So Ms. Riggins or Mr. Bettis will be there. So she's just done that 1 or 2 times. Most of the time there is someone there. It's just whether someone's sick or whatever, we're so short-staffed that she has volunteered willingly to do the job, and she knows what she's doing, so we trust her. We wouldn't put just anybody, and like I said, Mr. Bettis or Ms. Riggins is there with her. She's not left alone, in other words. Yes, sir.
thank you for
Yes, sir.
clarification.
No, that's a good question. I think you have to have can a JSO2 fill in for a 3?
Yes.
Yeah, they can, but you have to have a JSO2 or 3 on the floor all times. And like she said, during the day, if they're there, they can cover it. But at night, when there's no staff there or there's not a supervisor there, they've got to have a 2 or a 3 in the shift at night when everything else closed down, right?
Yes.
Did I get that
yes, sir.
correctly? Okay,
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
good question.
You're welcome.
And have we voted on that, the last one? We did, didn't we? We're
Yeah.
through?
So, yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Wasn't trying to correct you on that, I was just trying to make sure that we were on the same
Yes.
deal with the
And I do
tier.
want to remind Commissioners Court as well that we will be, I will be changing the contracts to increase the daily rate for pre up to 200, from 120 to 200, so that should be a huge help in my budget as well. And that should be starting September 1st.
And as soon as we have 4 new ones hired, we can open the post. We're ready, or we can
Ready.
apply for it, take a few days, but we should be within shooting range of, that's not a good phrase, in target range, that's not a good phrase either, whatever.
Yes, sir.
We should be very close to getting the post open. I mean, we're talking days, once we get 4 guards hired.
Hopefully, yes, sir. I'm keeping it.
I understand there's a few applications in, but Ms. Riggins has to do her magic
Yes.
then. She has to vet them, right? Good. Well, thank you for the update.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tracy.
Number 9, Diane Gonzalez, discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. Existing employee, Rachel Garza, position Assistant Chief Deputy, pay rate $4166.67 monthly, salary budget area 012-408-402, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022. Ms. Gonzalez.
Gentlemen, as you know, I've lost 3 key people in my office, and I have like 5 new recruits. 2 of them have been there for just about a year, the other 3 are brand new. As these people have left, top 2 people, it puts more responsibility on the ladies that I do have in my office that have more experience, more years. So therefore, I'm compensating them for the they're absorbing more responsibility, they need to be compensated, and the money's in my budget for each one of these ladies that I have. I'm asking for raises.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Next is existing employee Juanita Sanchez, position Vital Records Chief Deputy, pay rate 4458.37 monthly, salary budget area 012-408-402, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022. Ms. Gonzalez.
Okay, the same thing, these people are all absorbing more responsibilities.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie. Second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Existing employee Lisa Castaneda, position Vital Records Assistant Chief Deputy, pay rate 3875.00 monthly, salary budget area 012-408-402, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022. Mrs. Gonzalez.
So moved. She's already explained all of it.
Yeah, okay.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by
Second.
Commissioner Knowlton. Sorry.
That's all right.
Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Assistant employee Kimberly Simmons, OPR Chief Deputy. I'm sorry.
Nothing, I'm sorry.
OPR Chief Deputy, pay rate 4166.67 monthly, salary budget area 012-408-402, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Last item is existing employee Kimberly Ponton, position OPR Assistant Chief Deputy, pay rate 3865.47 monthly, salary budget area 012-408-402, physical drug test not applicable, start date 08/01/2022.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second.
second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Justin Vasquez. 10, Justin Vasquez. A, discuss and/or take appropriate action regarding purchasing licenses for Ninja One, a software suite creating the ability to back up, monitor, manage updates on, remotely control, and maintain all workstations and servers in the county, and direct county judge to sign. It also includes a ticketing system for the IT department as well as many other functions. Quote and license agreement are attached and have been reviewed by the county attorney's office. Mr. Vasquez.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We did budget last year. We created a new line in my budget for backups, and this system doesn't just do backups, it does a lot more that's going to be really handy for us to keep an eye on everything just right from our desk. It'll also save us some travel as well, where we can remotely control workstations for whoever has issues that we can just get into their computer, work on it, and be done. It also has the ability to back up workstations and servers, so it helps with our disaster recovery plan. It does a lot of things that we need without having to create a network to connect all our buildings together. This allows us to see all of our computers on one platform.
Move for approval.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. B, discuss and take appropriate action regarding entering into a non-disclosure agreement with Ninja One to allow viewing of a remote access solution that is more secure than their standard option. Authorize county judge to sign and execute pending county attorney approval.
Trent just emailed me this morning. He said he has reviewed and approved this non-disclosure agreement, and it's basically, they have two options for remote access, both that I know are not CJIS compliant. So if we do want to be able to remote access any computer that is under CJIS policy, they won't be viable. So they have a third option, but they said we need an NDA to sign so that we can actually view that option and see if it'll work for us.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have the Sheriff's Department. Discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. I'm going to read them each separately, if that's all right, Major.
Yes, sir.
It's still Major, isn't it? You haven't been promoted to Lieutenant Colonel?
Not recently.
New employee Robert Garza, position Deputy Sheriff, pay rate Tier 2, 47989.61 annual, 171 fluctuating pay program, $175 monthly holiday pay, $120 a month uniform pay, 90-day county probation, 1-year agency probation, salary budget area 012-440-410, physical drug test complete, start date 08/04/2022.
Yes, sir. This Deputy Garza has 2.5 years' experience. He's fairly new, but it's really hard finding. It's just like anywhere, you know. It's hard finding employees. He's fairly new. He's green, but we've trained people that were green, and they've come out smelling great. So he seems like a really good guy. He's passed a stringent background check, and we're ready to put him on.
Move approval.
Is the start date okay? 8:04?
8-4.
Can we make it 8-1?
Yeah, we can make it 8-1. He just won't be able to, because of his 2 weeks from his previous employer.
Well, he won't
be
get
able to
paid.
commit to 8-4.
We'll just get those days, he won't have hours that he won't work, so those will be leave that paid. But
Yeah.
for insurance purposes, it's better for him.
Sure.
We can start his
8-1.
2-month waiting period on the 1st of August instead of the 1st of September by doing that.
Okay.
So it cuts almost a month out.
He won't have hours on those days, so he won't, he leave that paid.
No problem.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Knowlton for approval,
Second.
second by Commissioner Perez. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. New employee Angel Ramirez, position corrections officer, pay rate tier 3, 41062.61 annual, 171-hour fluctuating pay program, $150 a month holiday pay. That's a correction. It's $150, not $175. 120-month uniform pay, 90-day county probation, 1-year agency probation. Major?
That's correct. I'm glad you picked up on that. It is 151 holiday. It was a misprint with the 175. Angel comes to us from Bexar County. There's not much to say about it. He's been a corrections officer for a little bit, and
Okay.
he's a local, so he wants to save some gas money.
I don't think we need to change the start date. He's close enough to the end of July on this record to be okay. So that start date should be fine.
Okay.
Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Existing employee Erica Calhoun, position telecommunications officer, pay rate to add $150 a month holiday pay to her pay package. Salary budget area 012-448-402, physical drug test not applicable. Start date 07/01/2022, is that right?
Yes, sir, it is. Whenever we did the PAF, the holiday pay was left out.
we're
So this is
changing that,
just
but she's
staying.
already on the book since July
Yes, sir.
1st.
She
Okay.
started with us since the first of the month.
So, do we need to
She should have been paid the holiday pay.
add that for last month too, to catch that up?
Well, she just started July 1st.
Okay,
Paid July
Yeah.
shift, so.
okay. Okay, so that'll be included, okay. All right, do we have a motion? Motion by Commissioner Knowlton,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Next is the Sheriff's Department. Discuss and take appropriate action concerning the purchase of 10 APX 6000 portable Motorola radios from Motorola Solutions for use by ACSO deputies in the amount of $42,850.30 using ARP funds. See the attached quote. Major Miller.
Yes, so I'm trying to look at that, and I got the code in here also. I'm just trying to find with the contract rate, we were able to save, there we go, $15,703 on these radios. They are the, pretty much the top of the line, not top of the line, but they're what we need these days. The radios that we have right now, the ones that we're replacing, these 10, they're between 10 and 18 years old. We cannot find parts for them, antennas, knobs, stuff breaks, we can't find parts for them. And this actually will finish out, round us off of replacing all of our portable radios, which are handheld radios.
Move for approval.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie,
Second.
second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Next, the Sheriff's Department discuss and take appropriate action concerning the purchase of a Jackson Temp Star commercial dishwasher from Webster Rest Store in the amount of $16,708 using, that says APR funds, but it means ARP funds, ARP funds. See attached. Major?
Thank you. Yes, sir, this is just for the jail dishwasher. The one that we have is, I really honestly, Judge, Commissioners, I can't tell you if it's broken or just out of, not able to get parts or old. I wasn't told that information, but That's what it's for the jail.
Yeah, the sheriff talked to me about it,
Okay.
and I suggested we take it out of ARP funds. It saves the taxpayers money. It saves us putting it on the budget next year and get you a dishwasher. He said it's having trouble, it's running, but it's
Yeah.
having trouble, and they think it's at its end of its days, and I said, well, let's get another one. So
Yes, sir.
that's where we are with that.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Knowlton, second by Mr. Gillespie. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Next, Sheriff's Department, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the purchase of one commercial electric water heater from Morrison Supply Company, in the amount of $9,768 even, in 0.00, using APR funds. Same thing?
ARP funds. Yes, sir. No, I know this one for sure. This is, elements or in this water heater, the elements are gone pretty much. Water heater doesn't work, and we need a new one.
Yes, sir. Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Number 15, Sheriff's Department, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the purchase of 25 Motorola digital UHF radios with accessories for use in the Atascosa County Jail from Advanced Communications, the amount of $8,282.90 using ARP funds. See attached quote. Major?
Well, we got ARP right this time, Judge.
It's right.
Yeah, this is going to get rid of the old jail radios that we haven't replaced. I believe this is going to replace all of them. This 25 mil will replace all of them and bring them up to the new standard that they should be at.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Yeah, this was noted in the last jail review by Jail Commission, that I had to sign off on them. So he went through a review on it, but I don't think, it wasn't a demerit. It was just something the sheriff told him they were gonna do. He was aware of it, and he put it in his report.
Right, that'd be like a note
Yeah.
probably on the report. Yes, sir.
It's something that's needed because the others are getting pretty old. Number 16, Commissioner Gillespie, discuss and take appropriate action concerning new employee, Timothy John Gould, position precinct 1 road crew operator with Class A CDL, pay rate tier 1, $44,947.61 annually, salary budget area 021-400-402, physical drug test pending, start date 07/25-2022. Commissioner Gillespie.
Thank you, Your Honor. Been looking for another CDL driver, and as we have been experimenting with them, or experiencing with them, it's hard to find one for the price that we pay, so I've got him at tier 1, with the knowledge that he does have a CDL and he can run equipment, so I move for approval.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Number 17, Commissioner Knowlton, discuss and take appropriate action concerning the July 21st Atascosa Central Appraisal District Board meeting. Commissioner Knowlton.
Yes, commissioners and audience, we had a board meeting at the Atascosa Central Appraisal District office. There are a few things that were very significant that occurred. I'll rely on Ms. Holly to back me up if I get something wrong, because she's on the board also.
She will correct you.
I bet she will. The first significant thing that occurred was we considered the budget for next year, and when called for a vote, the budget failed 5-4. There was another thing that occurred that was significant. We considered a contract for outside appraisal services in the amount of $155,000. It was brought up before we voted on that the contract review committee had not reviewed it. It was also explained they did not go out for bids. It's a professional services contract, yet there was a little issue with why no review. A motion was made to table that until the contract review committee could look at it. That vote failed 5-4, and the contract was approved. Subsequent to all of that, we reconsidered the budget, and initially the budget was sent out with a, I believe, correct me if I'm 19% increase.
19.3.
We reviewed the budget, looked at salaries, and struck some items out of the budget. After all of that, we got it down to approximately a 12% increase, and the board unanimously approved that 12% increase, which puts it out to the taxing entities for approval at this point. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Or comments?
You have that for action?
No.
Just, okay. No
For
action,
discussion.
Just discussion?
Yeah, just discussion.
All right, we'll move on to 18, which is in the same,
Ms. Barrera has a question.
Can we go back to 15? We had a motion and a second, but we didn't get a vote.
15?
15? Thank you. All right, so we had a motion and a second to buy the radios for the jail for 82.90. So,
Good catch.
any other discussion on that? All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping me straight. It's a full-time job. Number 18, discuss and take appropriate action concerning or disapproving the 2023 Atascosa County Central Appraisal District budget if it has been approved at the July 21st board meeting. So what we would be considering would be that one that the board did pass that you're talking about. You want to take that?
Yes, I voted and supported that budget in the meeting. However, subsequent to that, it's been brought to my attention, I'll let you expound upon that some of the statistics we were provided with were inaccurate, misleading. And that has to do with parcel count. The appraisal district made the presentation that we had 72,000 parcels to appraise. That's approximately. That's pretty accurate. However, it does not take into consideration that more than half of those are done by the outside appraisal firm that we hired to do the work, leaving the appraisal district with approximately 40,000 to appraise. And if you compare Atascosa, and I don't have the details in front of me, but if you compare Atascosa, Medina, and Wilson, Medina and Wilson have similar parcel counts of 40+ thousand, yet less staff than we have. So I'm going to withdraw my support and recommend disapproval of this budget until we can go back and look at it.
Motion to disapprove by Commissioner Knowlton,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gillespie. I'd like to explain further if it's all right.
Go ahead.
I think you indicated I should.
Yes, sir, you should, because you did the research.
Well, I didn't, the research was provided to me. The chairman of the board of the appraisal district, Arthur Trill, very graciously provided to me the survey information that they used to come up with this first budget. That was the 24.5% increase in payroll, which was a net increase in the overall budget of 19.3%. And something caught my attention, and it was about 10 or 12 pages of handwritten notes, and something caught my attention in it. It wasn't all handwritten, but there were handwritten notes on top of some computer copies, and then other handwritten notes of their surveys of other counties. And I was told in a meeting with the chief appraiser, and Commissioner Knowlton was there, that you base a central appraisal district's budget on parcels. So, and it was noted in that meeting that they had 74,000 parcels, and they were basing it on that. So what triggered my attention on these surveys was a column for gross parcels, which was 74,000, and a column for real parcels of 40, it may be 42,000.
42.
And I've got three sets of numbers, and they're all slightly different, but it doesn't matter because they all really are pretty much, they really all tie together and match. I think we're comparing 20, 21, and 22 numbers together. So I asked for surveys I asked for 2022 budgets from Medina County, Kerr County, and Wilson County, and they were not used in their comparison counties. They were comparing themselves to counties that had 74,000 parcels. Well, Wilson County and Kerr County and Medina County don't have, let me back up and say that I did find a 2021 report of the State Controller's Office that showed 72,000 parcels and 40,000 real parcels. And I was able to get a definition of what a non-real parcel is. And according to, and this wasn't on the information provided to me, but what came from the State Controller's Office, what a non-real parcel is it's not a piece of property. It's minerals, oil and gas minerals. It's mobile homes that aren't on somebody, tied down on somebody's own personal property where it becomes part of the property, so mobile homes that are in mobile home parks. And it's FF&E. If you ever had a business, you've done FF&E reports, so you know, I'm not gonna go and explain what they are. It's just your non-real. It's inventory, it's desks, shelving, that sort of thing. And so the report that came down from the state showed that 32,000, I can't, don't hold me there, it's either 30 or 32,000 of those non-real parcels are oil and gas. They were defined on the State Comptroller's report. Well, our appraisal district hires that done outside. That's your $155,000 contract he referred to.
Right.
And they have budgeted in the new budget $178,000 for outside contracts for outside work done. But the biggest budget is that our appraisal district doesn't appraise the oil and gas. And it was even, Commissioner Knowlton can tell me if I get this right or wrong, he told me that in the meeting, they were told that this contract was so wonderful because these people's software integrates with our central appraisal district software, and I quote, they don't have to do any work to get it into their system.
That's pretty
So
much a
nobody has to
quote.
key it. So it doesn't even require office work, according to what he was told at the meeting. Okay, now let me back up and tell you that Medina, Kerr, and Wilson counties don't have oil and gas, not to speak of, just hardly any. And their real parcels almost exactly matches their gross parcels. And they all have 40, they generally carried, over all the reports I could compare to, they carried 1,000 to 2,000 more real parcels than our appraisal district has on record. So to say they're not a comparable district, I think is wrong. And in the comparison, and the auditor and I went through these comparisons in great detail, the comparison shows that both Wilson, Kerr, and Medina have 6 appraisers, not counting the chief and assistant chief. And in this budget, our appraisal district's asking for a 7th appraiser. And I think, I have no idea what the justification is, except that they have 74,000 parcels, of which 32,000 they don't appraise. And I'm confused by this, but it's beginning to become clear, unless somebody has new information that disputes what I've said, I'm gonna have to believe that our analysis is accurate so far. And that means that on the appraisal of real parcels, a comparison to Kerr, Medina, and Wilson is fair. And we shouldn't be comparing, on the comparison records I got that they base the first budget on and the present budget, they're showing, they're trying to compare themselves to Guadalupe, to counties with 200,000 people, to over 100,000 people, because their gross parcels add up to 74,000 or more. But those people don't have oil and gas either that they compared to, and their 70,000 plus parcels are real parcels. So it's just not an apples to apples comparison unless there's information that we've missed. But I've gone over this with Commissioner Knowlton. I asked the auditor to be a second set of eyes to look at it with me to see if I was making any mistakes, and I haven't seen it so far.
And just to be clear, this information came to me on Friday and over the weekend. I asked the chief appraiser on Friday for her report on parcels. I got it just as we got here. I haven't analyzed it, but I glanced at it and it looks similar to what the judge just stated.
Everything we're getting ties together, even though we're comparing these 2022 numbers we got from the appraisal district to a 2021 report. I doubt the state controller has new numbers for 2022 in their system yet from all the appraisal districts. So we're comparing some 2022 numbers, 2021. If you take out a few parcels, another argument that I heard in my meeting with the chief appraiser was that, well, subdivisions are just exploding in this county, and they've got to keep track of them, and they've got to have an extra appraiser to keep track of them. But I submit to everybody, the public, everybody here, I talk to people in those other three counties all the time, Kerr, Medina, and Wilson, and they're exploding in unincorporated subdivisions as well, especially Medina and Wilson. And I submit that and their real parcel count shows the same. So it's that's where we are with this, and that's why. And Commissioner Knowlton made the decision on his own. I didn't try to talk him in or out of it, but he just read the numbers and came to this conclusion. So he wanted to talk today on it. I put it on here just in case they did approve a budget. I assumed they were going to approve the 119% budget, and but that's not what happened. But even though this one is lower at what, 12%?
Approximately 12%.
Approximately 12%. It still does have the seventh appraiser in it. The auditor and I created a what-if budget on our own. We spent several hours doing it, and our auditor put a lot of time in on it, and I have that in my computer now. And we came up with an 8% increase that cut one of the clerical staff. Our chief appraiser said she hadn't been able to hire anybody in those jobs because they were paid so low for several years. So I assume there's some empty. So we cut one of the clerks, and we cut the appraiser, and we used that money to use for raises. We gave everybody a nice raise. I believe it was 5 or 6%. And then some of the people that the appraisal district has said were too low and they weren't able to hire. The clerks we raised from 31 to 38,000. I believe that's what we did. And I felt we built a decent workable budget that rewarded the employees of the appraisal district, gave them decent raises, and made some adjustments that we've been told they need to make. And after looking at the comparisons to the other counties, they did need to be made. And so while I'm not trying to push people to adopt this 8% budget we came up with, we did it as a sample, and I have set it out to a number of people just for them to review, mainly mayors and school superintendents, for them to look at as a possibility for a budget that would work for them. And I maintain that if they still need a seventh appraiser and they still want to replace this clerk, then bring it up next year. Don't throw all the problems of 10 years into 1 year and with a 24.5% increase in payroll. I'm told one of the mayors, and this is very accurate, I'm just not going to name the mayor, told the chief appraiser that why don't you do this over a 3-year period? Why try to do it all in 1 year? She's been told this by a number of people, and it just hadn't gone anywhere, I guess.
I had one more comment. I did want to bring out publicly why I changed my position, because I've read that there's some question about politics or other issues, bad faith to be one. I voted for it and I supported it when we analyzed it last Thursday. However, I didn't have this information. Therefore, I changed my vote. Just wanted to say that publicly.
And he didn't have it because basically Tracy and I were working Thursday, several hours Thursday, and then she worked at home to put the budget together and put it on a spreadsheet, and so we were just getting this out on Friday afternoon, so that's correct. Commissioner Dolt didn't have this information. And we're not trying to work against the appraisal district. It's important that every employee there be paid fairly. It's important that they be paid in a fair and accurate way that compares to other similar appraisal districts. And that's what we try to do in this what-if budget that we came up with. And I think it's very workable. I appreciate the reduction from 119 to 112% overall, but I still question that seventh appraiser and the need for one. And that's it. So we'll call for the vote. We have a motion and a second.
I think we do.
So all those in favor to reject the budget, please indicate by raising your right hand. It is unanimous. Thank you very much. Commissioner Knowlton, discuss and take appropriate action concerning issuing a declaration of local state of disaster for Atascosa County due to imminent threat of disaster from the border crisis. Commissioner Knowlton.
Yes, sir. This is in response to a request from Kinney, Goliad, Terrell, and I forgot the other county, for support in declaring an invasion in the state of Texas, or actually in our county. The governor, under the Constitution, has the right, in my opinion, the obligation to declare an invasion, which allows the state to take certain actions if he does this. He's publicly stated, I saw him on Fox News, where he agrees that it's an invasion, yet he is yet to sign the declaration which would hand him the power to close the border. So this is an effort for Atascosa County to support those counties. We've had some issues here also. I don't know the exact number. I think it's, Robbie, do you know the exact number of issues we've had?
I think he said there were 75.
Recently. Yes. So we've had some high-speed chases and property damage, and I think it's probably in our best interest to support those counties, and I would ask the judge to take care of it from here.
Okay. The judge can declare the disaster, but it's only good for, I forget, 2 weeks or so, and maybe 30 days, and it's, unless the commissioners ratify and extend it, it's not any point to do it. So I just asked Commissioner Knowlton to put it on the agenda today, and we do it all at one time.
So do we need to move?
This is
Okay, you
really in sympathy with Kinney County. Kinney County is leading this, and they apparently have severe problems of being overrun. And they're down by Bracketville, as you know, and they're much further south than we are. But this is basically in sympathy with them, and they're wanting more counties to sign on so that they have more clout to try to get the governor to do what they think the governor should do. And we're not really going to engage in what that is. We're going to leave that up to Kinney County and the group that's together working down there. This is just in sympathy with Kinney County and to recognize that we do have problems of the same kind, even though not as great as theirs. So, did you make a motion to approve?
Well, I think you have to issue the order first, and we approve it and extend it. Is that correct? You can only do it for X number of days, and then the Commissioners Court, I think that's the way it works. Is that right?
Okay, Robbie has done a really nice job here. She's got my declaration in front of it, and it's got the extension at second to it, so I will sign the declaration, and then we can go ahead and vote on the extension.
Okay.
So, we said it shall continue until terminated by order of the judge or commissioner's court. But we can pass that effective today,
Do
the
we need to
extension.
read that?
Sir?
Do we need to read that out?
It says, whereas the county judge issued a proclamation declaring a local state of disaster for Atascosa County resulting from imminent threat of disaster for the unprecedented levels of illegal immigration, human trafficking, and drug smuggling across the U.S. border from Mexico. Whereas the judge of Atascosa County has determined the ongoing border crisis constitutes an invasion of Texas and that extraordinary measures must be taken to ensure the protection of the health, safety, and welfare of county residents. And whereas Texas Government Code provides that a local state disaster may not be continued for a period, there's the answer, excess of 7 days, without the consent of the governing body of the political subdivision. Now therefore be it ordered that the Commissioners Court of Atascosa County that the state of disaster dated July 25th shall continue until terminated by order of the judge or Commissioners Court, that this ordinance passes an emergency measure and pursuant to local authority for emergency measures shall become effective on the 25th day of July 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate raising your right hand. Motion carries. Do we have an original to sign? Okay, Robbie will get us an original to sign on these, so we won't worry about that now. Number 20, Commissioner Knowlton, discuss and take appropriate action concerning approving new contract for trash for Precinct 2 with Republic. Contract attached. The contract's estimated to save approximately $1,000 per month as compared to the previous supplier of this service. Contracts are reviewed and approved by Assistant County Attorney Trent Rowell. Commissioner Knowlton.
Yes, sir. As most of you are aware, the county provides trash drop-off services at, I think, 2 locations, Precinct 2 and Precinct 1. Precinct 1 was using Republic, I believe.
Yes.
We were using a contractor in South Bear County. We decided to bid this out, got bids in, and got it to the point where we decided to go with Republic also. So all of our trash will be with the same vendor, and it'll, at least in my location, it's calculated to save $1,000 per month, and I recommend approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Knowlton, second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your
I
right
have a
hand.
question.
Yes, sir.
Are we out of the old contract on the,
What's that? Are we out of it? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone. We terminated it.
okay.
Are you with Apache?
Yeah, I'm with, Lim, I think, or something like that. It's a
Oh,
different
I didn't know you did it, but,
Yeah, I have a different one.
okay, well, there's
But
3
I'll-
locations.
I'll look and see what,
You might want to look
Yeah.
into it, because we will,
And I'm pulling mine in Campbellton.
you're doing,
It's out of control,
yeah.
so I'm not doing away with that.
I suggest we look at this, and I suggest the auditor look at it, because we spend a lot of money on this service. It doesn't come out of our budgets, it comes out of the county budget. So we should look at this as
I've actually started to pull all contracts and pull all locations to kind of get a uniform throughout the county.
okay.
Any other comments or questions? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Commissioner Riley, number 21, discuss and take appropriate action concerning issuing McCoy Water Supply Corporation a permit for a road bore located in Precinct 4, 2890 CR 429 for Susan Kruger.
Thank you,
Commissioner?
Judge. Yes, I went and looked at this, location, and they're just, the way they can get water to their property is to go under the county road to get the issue they're having with water for their cattle, and, the camp house there, so I moved to approve.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Riley,
second.
second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Number 22, Commissioner Riley, discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. Jason Escamilla, position Precinct 4 County Worker, pay rate 42638.46 annually. Salary budget area 024-400-402. Physical and drug test complete. Start date 0725-2022. Commissioner Riley.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, I'm bringing, Jason in, he's an experienced operator, and, I move to approve this.
Motion by Commissioner Riley,
Second.
second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Number 23, Don Penny. Discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel. Existing employee John Blocker, full-time paramedic with probation complete, pay rate $16 hourly. Salary budget area 041-400-430. Physical drug test not applicable. Start date 0725-2022. Need a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez,
Second.
second by Commissioner Riley. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. New employee, Crystal Arta, position part-time EMT, pay rate $12 hourly. Salary budget area 041-400-518. Physical drug test not applicable. Start date 0725-2022.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Perez, second by Commissioner Gillespie. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Okay, number 24, in your packet, you have a resignation letter from Trish Gentry, who has done an outstanding job getting the indigent health under control. I'd like to say that she's cut, I think, over the last 2 years, fully over $1 million from what we've been paying in the past. She's made huge improvements, and it just has taken place by paying attention to details and not approving people that didn't need to be approved, that didn't qualify, and also catching people as they run over their limit and taking them off the program. So she's done a very good job with administration, and she's had Lisa Akers working in there with her for about a year or so. And I talked to Lisa, and she would like to have the job. We don't have any requirement to post it. She is the best one, I think, to take over. The date of separation for Trish does not take place until October 30th, October 30th. Huh? What'd I say? August, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. August 30th. And she wants to do that because that is the termination. The fiscal year for our indigent health does not run along the fiscal year of the county. It runs to the state fiscal year, and she wants to stay there until the year is completed and wrapped up and teach Lisa how to do that. And then that'd be her last day, and whatever the last working day in August is. And so I'm asking that you make this effective date is 09/01/2022, so let me read it. It says, discuss and take appropriate action concerning personnel, existing employee Lisa Akers, position Indigent Health Program Director, pay rate 51507.38 annually, salary budget area 050-400-402, physical drug test not applicable, start date 09/01/2022.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion or questions?
Rock and roll.
Hate to see Trish go,
Yeah.
but we do have, she has trained somebody that we think will be, she's been an outstanding employee both in the treasurer's office and over in that office. So she's been with the county a while, and I think she's I talked to her, I asked her, I said, do you plan on staying a while? And she said, I'm planning on staying for a very long time. And I said, that's all I wanted to hear. So you're not gonna be leaving in a year or so. And she said, no, my husband and I are very happy with this. I'm sure you know who her husband is. And that she intends to stay for years and years.
Where's Trish go?
Trisha's husband has started an ice cream shop business up in Shirts, and it is really doing extraordinarily well. And he's opening a second one in Universal City, I think it is. And I did tell her that when we have her party, when she leaves, she needs to bring ice cream. But she's leaving because his business is doing that well and he needs her help. His daughter's involved in it. They need help with grandchildren, and he needs help, somebody do the books, and so it's run past his ability to handle it all himself. That's what's going on. So we did not vote, did we? All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you very much. I'm confident that you're gonna have a good person in Lisa. And I did ask Trish to put down all of her new rules in a book, an operating book for Lisa. And she said she would be doing that between now and before she left. So, all right, number 25, discuss and take appropriate action ordering the November 8th, 2022 general election. Ms. Rubel, thank you for waiting so patiently.
Really you, it's not me, but if y'all look at it, if I look at it,
I looked at it.
we're open in all locations that are normally open, 13 hours.
I have a question. Are you going to come back to us on the judges at a later date?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
they have fully decided on those.
Yeah.
Do we have a motion to order the,
So moved.
thank you, Commissioner Knowlton.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Riley. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. There is no executive session that I'm aware of. Don't see Trent, so that's good. So we're gonna move on to number, and there's no action to be taken in 28.
Yeah, there
Oh,
was.
there is Trent.
He was asleep.
I was just checking to see if you were awake. All right, so we're going
that's
to
funny.
now recess in order to convene an executive session per Texas Government Code 551.071 and 551.072 to litigation matters with the county attorney. The time is 10:31, and we will reconvene at 10:35. Go get my We're going to reconvene in regular meeting of Atascosa County Commissioners Court. It is July 25th, and the time is 11:12 a.m. So that brings us, there is no action to be taken from the executive session, so it takes us to number 29. Discuss and take appropriate action concerning the following 2022 budget line item adjustments and our budget amendments for the following. I am not going to read them all, but I do want to point out that the very first one is a budget amendment, which will require all 4 commissioners and myself to sign that order. The rest of them just require my signature. So, ready to take a motion on approval of those changes. Motion by Commissioner Knowlton. Second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. It is unanimous. I'm sorry, there's other budget adjustments toward the end, so be sure that you're aware of them, because budget adjustments do require us all to sign it. Number 30, discuss, review, and take action to accept and approve any invoices and payroll. The payroll is $2,237,011.67. $237,011.67. And the invoices have already been signed by the commissioners, so we need a motion to approve both, please.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie, second by Commissioner Knowlton. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. And 31 is discuss, review, take action on reports. I'd like to thank all of our department heads. It is 100% complete. We've been having more of those recently, but for years I never saw these cleaner reports. So I guess I shouldn't count our chickens, but everybody's doing really well, and we appreciate it. So a motion to approve the reports.
Hardcore auditor.
Got that right.
What he said was that we have a hardcore auditor, if you didn't hear him.
Okay, thank you.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the reports?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gillespie.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Perez. Discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. Motion carries. 31, commissioners, comments from Commissioners Court. No action to be taken. Is there anyone that has any comments they wish to make? Being none, the next regular Commissioners Court meeting is set for Monday, August 8th. We are adjourned. Thank everybody very much.